This is the Charizard EX League Battle Deck, and in today's video, we're going to be playing a Pokemon trading card game live with the deck to teach you guys how to use it. Now, as far as the deck goes, I did do a full deck profile and breakdown of the full 60 card deck in the earlier video I uploaded yesterday. It's the video I uploaded right before this. I'm actually going to be uploading a video later this weekend where we bring this exact starter deck to a Pokemon League tournament at my sponsor store, Comfy Hobbies. You guys can use my code SneakerTalk for 5% off. And in that video, I play against the locals with that 60 card starter deck, no changes made. And we also give away the Rotom V and the Force Heal Stone Play Stamp card in that video. And those are two critical cards you need to upgrade the Charizard deck to make it just like 3 times more competitive. Because I already gave you guys an in-depth breakdown of this deck, we'll just do a very quick one in case you don't want to go back and watch the previous video. This deck has 3 copies of Moltres. It is a pseudo free retreater. It gets a free retreat ability if you have a fire energy on it. It's also attacking the bench only. It does 120 to benched Pokemon specifically. This list is of course the Charizard Pidgeot engine, so we have 3 copies of Pidgey, we have 2 copies of Pidgeotto, and 2 copies of Pidgeot EX. Typically, they don't play Pidgeotto in Charizard decks. However, we do have Evo TM in this deck, which will allow you to evolve your Pidgey into Pidgeotto, so that's why they have them in the list. Pidgeot EX, this is our engine of the deck. We have the quick search ability, really strong ability. Once you get this card set up, once per turn, you'll be able to get the exact card you want every single turn. You also have the attack Blustery Wind, 4 copies of the Charmander from Obsidian Flames or Paldean Fates, 3 of the Flare Veil Charmeleons, which prevent it from getting attacked by effects. Next up, we got Charizard EX, the main Pokemon of this deck. This is our big boss. One of the best abilities in the game, Infernal Rain. It says when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may search your deck for up to 3 basic fire energy cards and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like. That means all you have to do is evolve and your Charizard can start attacking. And then we have an amazing attack that complements that, which only costs 2 fire energies, Burning Darkness, and it says this attack does 30 more damage for each prize card your opponent has taken. So 180 damage base, 30 damage for each prize card they've taken. This is a deck that doesn't mind playing from behind. It's a comeback deck, you could say, because you get stronger and stronger as your opponent takes prizes, which means, you know, they're really just helping you in the end. So although games might seem close at the end, really they're just powering up your Charizard. Next up, let's get to the trainer cards. First off, we're going to start with the Ace Spec. This is one of the big things that that really separated this starter deck from other starter decks out there. The fact that it comes with the Prime Catcher Ace Spec is insane. This used to be like a $30 card, and so the fact that you can buy the starter deck, which was like $30, and have all the other cards included was perfect. A lot of people love this deck. A lot of people bought this deck specifically because they just want the Prime Catcher, and then they're going to get all the bonuses of all these other cards because they're all super playable in so many decks. Again, this is the best Pokemon item you can buy if you want to play the trading card game. Prime Catcher in here, really good ability. Switch in one of your opponent's bench Pokemon, and then you can switch in one of yours. So you get to choose what you attack, and then you get to choose what you attack with. Very good. In terms of supporters, we have 2 copies of Professor's Research for Draw. We have 2 copies of Boss's Orders for Gust. We have Iono for Draw and Disruption. Arven for grabbing an item and a tool. And that's it for the supporters. In terms of stadiums, we've got 1 copy of Artazon. It allows you to just basically set up your Pidgey, your Charmander every single turn. Very handy. Technical Machine Evolution to evolve your Pokemon. Super Rod in here for recovery. Sometimes you need to put fire energies back into your deck, so your Infernal Rain can be used for grabbing those energies, or maybe you're down an important Pidgeot or a Charizard or something important that had to get discarded with like Research or an Ultra Ball. Super Rod will be able to bring it back. We got Defiance Band in here to do an extra 30 more damage if your opponent is winning by being up on prize cards. So essentially, if your opponent has taken 1 prize card, your Charizard can now swing for not just 210, but 240 by having the Defiance Band on it, which means you can one-shot a lot of Pokemon EX and V. 4 Buddy-Buddy Poffins in here as well. The go-to item card for this deck, turn 1, you want to play this. Set up your Charmander, set up your Pidgeys. We got Ultra Ball in here too. Discard 2, pick a Pokemon. Really good card. Synergizes with the Rare Candies very well. 4 copies of Rare Candy. You want to have 4 in this deck because you're being able to evolve both your Pidgeot or Pidgey and your Charmanders into Pidgeot and Charizard. And then we have 1 copy of Switch in here for good measure. I think they just always have 1 copy of Switch in every single starter deck out there. Here we go. Now we're going to play against some real people here with the Charizard EX League Battle Deck. We want to go second for this particular matchup against GeoHal. And if you guys are new to the channel, I have taken a break from streaming. However, we're going to get back to streaming next week. I'm going to try streaming, I believe, on Sunday afternoon / evening. That's going to be the comeback stream. So if you guys want to hang out, that's a great place for people to ask me questions, to see me play live, have live commentary. We can chat, talk it up, do whatever we want. And here we go. We're playing against Shenpao Greninja. So this is a deck that historically has a good matchup into Charizard. This could be a trickier one because Shenpao just has to get set up, and then they're going to be able to one-shot our Charizard turn after turn after turn. But without getting a Frigibax and being able to evolve it into Baxcalibur, they're going to have a harder time. So they had a really slow start. So we're going to go ahead and grab a Charmander and let's grab another Charmander here. We'll attach to Pidgey, and we're not going to bother playing the Iono here because their turn was really bad and we don't want to give them a brand new hand. So we'll grab another Pidgey here, and we're going to also grab another Pidgey here. So we're going to fill up our bench all the way like a rookie player would do. This would sometimes be considered a mistake because once your bench is full, that means you can't play important support Pokemon like a Lumineon V and have access to your supporters that way. But we have a supporter in hand, Iono. We're going to play that next turn. And we have the Charizard EX as well. And we won't be able to 1-hit KO the Shenpao until they've taken 2 prize cards or have taken 1 and we have a Defiance Band on it instead. So there's the Frigibax coming in. This is one of the most important Pokemon in Shenpao. They have to use Irida essentially to get Rare Candy and Baxcalibur, and then they can evolve it into Baxcalibur, and that has an ability that says you can attach as many water Pokemon or as many water energies from your hand to your Pokemon in any way you want, which is insane. So here it comes. Oh no, we got the Greninja EX. So maybe they're playing like a Greninja EX Shenpao starter deck hybrid. We got the Shivery Chill ability. It's a really strong ability too. It lets you accelerate those energies onto the board. And if they knock us out here, we're in a really good spot because now we can return 1-hit KO the Shenpao if we do have a Defiance Band in the deck. Because the Defiance Band in the deck will be equivalent to them taking another prize card. And again, we need to have 2 prize cards taken. So we're going to drop in the Charmander here. You Rare Candy into our Charizard. Infernal Rain. Yes. Boom, boom, boom. Honestly, that could have been considered a slight misplay. We could have got the Pidgeot Rare Candied and then grab a Rare Candy from the Pidgeot as well. But it's fine. We're not going to get punished too hard, I believe, for this matchup. We'll throw in another. We'll go Iono. But that would have definitely been the more optimal play if we Ultra Balled for the Pidgeot. Couldn't get it, but that's fine. We can go Charmeleon. We can go Ultra Ball, discarding 2 Poffins, and just start evolving into the Pidgeotto, just to be safer, so we don't need the Rare Candy piece as well. I think we're going to keep the Buddy-Buddy Poffin in our hand. That way, if we do get like an Ultra Ball, we have an extra card that we can just discard that we don't care about for the Ultra Ball ability. Let's see what they do here. They really need to get that turn. They need, so it looks like we're playing against a starter deck because having a Nemona in this deck is very noob-like. Oh, Hourglass? Hourglass. I was going to call it Power Glass. Oh, it is Power Glass. Power Glass says, once per turn, I can just read it to you here. At the end of your turn, if the Pokemon this card is attached to you is in an active spot, you may attach a basic energy card from your discard pile to it. So you can like self-power up the Shenpao essentially by having it stay in the active if it survives, which it did in this case. Shivery Chill. So having the Nemona not being Irida is rough. If it was Irida, then they could have just got Rare Candy Baxcalibur and evolved into Frigibax. We got concealed cards. This is a very scary Pokemon too to play against, Radiant Greninja, because this deck does not come with a Manaphy included, because Manaphy I believe rotates out as well. This starter deck was like basically rotation proof. They only included new cards for this list. Greninja will be able to attack 2 Pokemon for 90 damage. So they can knock out like 2 Charmanders at once, or 2 Charmeleons, or our bench is not safe. However, Charizard would be safe because it has that Terra typing ability. So here, attached to our Pidgeotto, and we can actually just retreat into our Pidgeotto and hit him with Pidgeotto's flap. So this way we're not leaving a 2 prizer necessarily on the field. This is always a good practice. Always remember to try and make sure that your 2-prizers are safe, right? If your 2-prizer is going to get return knocked out on the next turn, try and attack with the 1-prizer instead. We got Greninja EX coming in next. It has the Stealthy Shuriken attack. 40 damage to any of my Pokemon except for Charizard because he's safe on the bench, or Torrential Slash. 120, and if my Pokemon has any damage counters, another 120. So not the strongest attack. Usually this water type Greninja EX doesn't see much play at all. You're usually going to see the fighting type Greninja EX, which is insanely good. Amulet of Hope. So this is not an ace spec you're typically ever going to see out of a Shen PAL. It says if the Pokemon this card is attached to is knocked out by damage from an attack from your opponent, Pokemon search for up to 3 cards and add them to your hand. So a really strong effect. You just have to have your Pokemon get knocked out first, which is not very good. Oh, so this looks like it is a Greninja Shen PAL kind of list. Interesting. Alright, Pidgeotto. Now we can go. Let's give him. We'll go. Buddy-Buddy Poffin here. Thin out a Charmander. We'll go Iono, because we just need to see Pidgeot or a Charizard. And then we can start having a really fun time here. There we go, we got the Pidgeot. Now that we have Pidgeot, we can go Quick Search. Quick Search will allow us to get Charizard. So we don't need to grab an energy, we can just grab this Charizard instead. Evolve in the Charizard, use the Infernal Rain ability, grab 3 energies from the deck. We'll put 1 on the Zard, 1 on the Pidgeot, 1 on the other. Let's put it back onto, yeah, we'll do this Charmander, may as well, it's fine. I don't think we're too pressed. And then we'll attach this to our, we knock that out, yeah. We'll attack with our Pidgeot. Now one thing I really like about Pidgeot EX is that it has free retreat, which means this big bulky Pokemon that has 280 HP, it can tank a hit, and then you can just run away because it has the free retreat. And then when you want to attack with it later again, or just, you know, bring it into the active, you can, and it's going to have the energies on it because you didn't have to discard them for the retreat cost. So free retreat Pokemon are insanely good. If you're building any type of deck at all, definitely try and find ways to include free retreat Pokemon into your list. And if you don't, there's other ways that your Pokemon can have free retreat. There's stadiums out there, there's tools, there's other Pokemon that can give Pokemon free retreat out there as well. Lots of different ways to have retreat cost not be something that is a factor that is going to slow you down from winning. So we finally see it. We see the Greninja EX. This is the fighting Greninja that we definitely are more scared of. It's a larger threat than the water type Greninja. This is essentially like a Greninja deck with Shen PAL for water acceleration to search them out, and you have the Frigibax to evolve into Baxcalibur to throw them on the field. So this is like the power of Charizard, you feel me? Charizard is our attacker and the energy accelerant. This deck needs so many more combo pieces. It needs the Shen PAL, the Frigibax, the Baxcalibur, the Greninja. So there's a lot more combo pieces that you kind of need for the Shen PAL deck to work. And their deck just isn't popping off the way you want to see it. And our deck is. So we can now go ahead and quick search for a boss's orders here. We can pick exactly what we want to knock out. So we're going to pick the Frigibax here. We don't want to see it evolve, because if it were to evolve, that's how they're going to have their energy accelerate onto the board. So we'll knock out the Frigibax, and that means we only need to take 2 more prize cards to win the game. So all we have to do is swing twice into the Shen PAL and we win. Or if they knock out any of our Pokemon, which they're not going to be able to do this turn, since the first attack needs a water and they only have a gift energy, they can't even use their first attack. But if they were to take a knockout on this particular turn, then our Charizard would then just be able to knock out any Pokemon, or well, it can knock out the Shen PAL for 240. So we have checkmate on board, so it's just a matter of waiting for them to resolve their actions. Also, I do sound a little nasally. I'm just recovering, I guess, from allergies or a cold or whatever, so I don't usually sound as annoying. Unless you think I sound annoying, then I always sound annoying. But I sound annoying to myself right now. There is the Shivery Chill. We don't even have to use boss's orders to to chase down the Shen PAL. They're just giving it to us here. There is the best supporter in the game, Nemona. Water energy coming down. Superior energy retrieval. So we're not like full. What the heck? They got Quaquaval in here too. So they just have so many things going on here, right? You might think you're doing well, you might be thinking you're doing good by including so many powerful cards into your deck, but by having so many cards, again, you're hurting your consistency. So how often are you actually going to see the cards you want to see when you have too much variety? Some of the best decks run 4 of. I mean, like, you want to be playing the game, okay? You really want to be going for max consistency first. That's how you build the deck properly. After you have the proper base of your deck, that's when you can start slotting in the more experimental tech cards, you could call them, to increase the power level, because they just aren't really playing the game, right? They're not, and so that's why they're losing, because they're essentially bricking because they're not drawing all the cards they want, and they have a 12 card hand now, 11 card hand, but that hand size means nothing if you're not taking prizes and progressing your board state. So a deck like this would typically play the barrel draw engine in it to draw a lot of cards and see them, and then you also have the superior energy retrieval where you discard 2 cards in your hand to then get 4 water energies from your discard, put them back into your deck, and then you use Excalibur to throw those energies onto your Pokemon. So it's a really fun deck, but it just isn't as popular anymore. There was a brief period where Shen PAL was very, very good, but these days Shen PAL is just not really seen anymore. It's too bad. It's too bad for my polar bear believers out there. So there we go. We now see a fully charged up and ready to go Greninja EX. They are going to retreat, and they're going to attack us with either Shinobi Blade or Mirage Barrage. We are also resistant to the attack, which means we take 30 less damage, which is really, really handy. But it doesn't really matter too much that they're doing this because we have the boss's orders in hand and the Charizard ready to KO. We don't even have to retreat. We can just attack with this Pidgeot and we're chilling. So there's 120, and then they tried to attack our Charizard, but little did they forget, like, they have a Terra Pokemon too. It's a thing some people will often forget. So just do keep in mind, a lot of Terra Pokemon have bench protection built into them. So we're just gonna go ahead and the boss's orders the Shen PAL. For fun, we'll bring in the Charizard and then knock it out with the Charizard EX. So there's our first game against a actual player. So I think it's safe to say we're going to play more new players in the quick play area right now, just because the game just got a rank reset. Like, everybody went back to the lowest possible rank. We were up there at the max rank. Let's level up to level 9 and let's hop into another game playing against NRL Trey. And it looks like they had some Charizard or Fire. They had Fire accessories for their deck stuff. Alright, heads. Do they want first or second? Again, we're typically in a meta right now too, where a lot of decks want to go first. So if you want it to be sort of anti-meta, or just have the ability to have a strong start and, you know, kind of reverse engineer, reverse psychology, the coin flip, you can be building decks that want to go second instead. Certain decks out there, like my favorite deck, the deck I believe that's the best deck in format right now, Miraidon. Miraidon is a deck that doesn't care about the coin flip. So that's one really nice thing too, right? A lot of decks out there have their power level increased dramatically by going first, but at the cost of having a very weak going second. And so choosing decks that can go first or second is more flexible, makes that opening coin toss way less stressful. Mirror match time. Charmander, Buddy-Buddy Poffin. Let's grab 2 Pidgeys, and we will attach to our Charmander in the active and pass. So we have a mirror match, I believe, but they have the Manaphy built in. So this should be a Charizard versus Charizard. They have the Moltres, and no decks play this Moltres. I'll tell you that much. No decks are using Moltres other than the Charizard starter deck, unless they got some creative juice. This is also, since it is quick play, you know, this is where a lot more people have fun with their deck building, and they get creative. They're not worried or stressed about their deck hurting their rank, like losing points and stuff like that. And you see my battery on my camera is getting low, so I'm just gonna charge up my my phone battery, camera battery. What are we working with here? Whoa! They've discarded Buddy-Buddy Poffin and Evo TM. They're really wanting that Pidgeotto for next turn, I guess. Oh boy. Well, we're gonna go ahead and let's go Artazon. We can thin out a basic Pokemon. We'll grab another Charmander. We're gonna hit him with that not Rare Candy, Iono. We are losing 2 Rare Candies to the bottom though, so nah, we couldn't get the cards we wanted. However, we do have Charmeleon here, so we're gonna evolve into Charmeleon. We will evolve into, we'll just attach there and attack with Combustion. Like their board doesn't really threaten us at all in any way, shape, or form. We could have just like even kept the fire energy in hand, and for the next turn we could have Ultra Ball the fire and the Poffin, grab Pidgeot, and then grab Rare Candy off Arven. But we got hit with the Iono anyways, so it doesn't even matter. But at these lower ranks, for sure, if you make any sort of like misplays, you're not going to really get punished because everybody's making mistakes at these low ranks. Because it's going to be a lot of newer players. And some players won't even realize they're making a mistake. Like their turn 1, they should have got down a Charmander, but they chose not to they threw away the Buddy-Buddy Poffin, which is like one of the best cards in the deck. Alright, here we go. Let's start it off with an Ultra Ball, discarding Moltres, and a Buddy-Buddy Poffin. From here, we can go ahead and grab our Pidgeot EX. Next up, we're going to go Arven for the Rare Candy. And we're also going to grab a Defiance Band. Now we can go a Rare Candy into Pidgey. And we can also just Ultra Ball away the Research and the Fire. Grab the Zard. Evolve into Zard. And then Infernal Rain. We'll say yes, of course. Grab a bunch of energies. 1, 2, 3. Throw this band there. We'll use Artazon. Thin out the Moltres. And then Quick Search. Did we play Supporter? I think we just discarded. Oh, we played Arven. So here, we're going to go ahead and grab the Prime Catcher. We really want to target down that Charmander before it evolves, right? So we're going to go Prime Catcher into the Charmander, promote the Pidgeot, and we can actually just attack with the Blustery Wind. And then we can discard the Artazon that way, so they can't grab a Charmander with our own Stadium. Now there are plays where you don't have to do that, but I found that to be the most optimal play since we do discard the Stadium. But we could have easily retreated back into the Charizard if we wanted to, and then knock it out with that way. But taking away their out, as they're called, their way to, you know, come back is always the more ideal play. And our bench is full anyways. We're done using Artazon, so we'll just get it out of here. Alright, Super Rod and Defiance Band. And now the Moltres will be able to attack one of our benched Pokemon. Blazing Flight. They should knock out our Charmander with the Fire, I believe. If they go for this Charizard, they just are so new they don't even realize that the Terra typing blocks it. Yeah, so they're so new. They're so new that they don't even know what Terra Pokemon can do. So this game is honestly not a great example of the deck at its full power. But we can go Boss's Orders. We're going to go ahead and retreat into this Charizard. Boss up the Radiant Charizard since that's a really big threat in their list. Radiant Charizard is one of the first cards you're going to want to add to your own Charizard list, just because it synergizes amazingly well with Charizard, and they're going to scoop it up, and yeah, there we go. Let's go with a, are we going first or second? We can check. They are going first, so we are going second. We are going to promote our Charmander here, because we have 4 copies of Charmander and 3 copies of Pidgey. So I don't mind if the Charmander gets knocked out. Oh, we're playing against this weird Caspa Kid deck and Sizzlepede. Interesting. I'm not sure if they have, if the evolution... What does this evolve into, dude? I don't even know. Scovillian? They're retreating into the Sizzlepede. Okay, okay. So Buddy-Buddy Poffin is exactly what we want to see on turn 1. So let's go ahead and grab our friends right there. Attach to Charmander and hit him with the Iono. And hope we get an Evo TM so we can just start evolving our Pokemon that way. Nope, no luck this time. We can just attach, and I attack, it does nothing because there's no stadium in play. Typically, if your opponent didn't do too much on their opening hand turn 1, it's almost worth not playing Iono, but do keep in mind, if you go first, you don't get to play a supporter turn 1. If your opponent did something, maybe like play a Rotom V and used instant charge to draw 3 more cards, now their hand is so big, then it could be really worth Ionoing. Alright, we got the Arven, Nustball. What are they cooking? I've never seen this deck before. Another Sizzlepede. Technical Machine Evolution coming in hot. And so all we need is a Rare Candy Charizard and we are off to the races. So Scovillian here says, as long as this Pokemon is in play, it is fire and grass. So they're going to hurt us for weakness. So this could be a very scary matchup, honestly. We're going to go ahead and attach to this Pidgeotto and research away our hand. Darn, no luck getting exactly what we wanted there. We'll Buddy-Buddy Poffin another Pidgey. And we will pass it over to them. Send a Scorch. Okay, what does this do? This attack does 30 damage to each of your benched Pokemon. But it's 1 fire energy, does 130. Now, why would you want to be hurting yourself, right? Well, this Pokemon here, Scovillian, has the attack Spicy Rage. It does 10 damage for 2 fire, which doesn't sound very good, because it's not. But the effect is, this attack does 70 more damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon. So now, it's swinging for 220 damage for 2 fire with Scovillian. So they're going to get really high up there in damage numbers. That's going to be a very scary Scovillian to have to deal with at some point. So now we can go... We'll go Moltres here. And we have to start knocking out these Scovillians, because those are the threats we have to worry about. We will go ahead and play Arven. Arven's going to grab us an Ultra Ball and a Defiance Band. We can now go Defiance Band, the Charmander, Ultra Ball, these 2 fire energies away. We can grab a Charizard. And go Rare Candy Charmander, evolve into Charizard, and get 3 fire energies onto the board. 1, 2, 3. We'll go Charizard, Moltres, and Charmeleon. We're going to play Prime Catcher to bring in their Scovillian. We got our Charizard. And now we have the Reverse Uno, the knockout on Scovillian EX. So typically, we wouldn't be able to knock out a stage 1 that has 260 HP. However, their first attack, which helps their board state, also helps us in being able to one-hit KO them. Because Defiance Band also allows us to hit for an extra 30 damage. That's why we were able to knock them out. So next, we really want to start swinging into that one. So if we draw a Boss's Orders, which would be huge, we're in a good spot. Ooh, they're going to go knockout onto our Charmeleon. And now we need to draw Boss's Orders here. And we're scared of a boss if they get a boss. So we're going to promote our Moltres, which has a free retreat with the ability. Ooh, we did not get what we wanted, so we're going to go TM Evo on the Moltres, and we're going to send our Charizard and Pidgeot to the bottom with Iono. No boss for this turn. Oh, but we got the Rare Candy, so that is really, really big. So we got Rare Candy, and then we can go Pidgeot EX Quick Search. But here, it's not looking amazing. We have the boss play for next turn, and we could also... There's a good chance they're going to attack with us as well. So we want to be able to Rare Candy our Charmander up. I'm a bit scared that they gust our Pidgeot and knock it out, but I feel like they would go for our Charizard. So we're gonna grab the Pidgey. We're gonna grab the Arven. Actually, we can just grab the Charmeleon for this particular turn as well. I think that's the safest play. That way, all we need is a simple Charizard on the next turn, and we're in a good spot. And actually, we don't even have to worry about that, because we can Evo TM. Now, do keep in mind, because we did choose to evolve our Charizard that way, this is a good learning lesson, we don't get to accelerate those energies onto the board. Charizard's Infernal Rain only works when you evolve your Charizard from your hand. So really keep that in mind if you are going to be doing an Evo TM play like I did, because that was not necessarily the greatest play. Alright, we got the Nest Ball, but the fact that they played Arven this turn gives us hope that they can't play boss, right? They can only play one Gust per turn, or one supporter per turn. So our Charizard is safe unless they have Prime Catcher in their deck. And they would have grabbed Prime Catcher with Arven if they were going to go for our Charizard. So here, we're going to see the evolution. And so now we can just go quick search boss and KO that Scovillain, because that Scovillain is going to hurt for a lot of damage. 80 times 70 plus 10 is insane. So we're going to go ahead and quick search out our boss's orders. And this is why Pidgeot is so good. You get to pick exactly what you want every single turn with Pidgeot and just, really dominate. And we can go ahead and use their own stadium against them, since we now have the Moltres on the bench. And our Charizard will swing for weakness into the Scovillain EX. So knocking that baby out. 2 more prize cards. And all we need to do now for game is take 2 more prizes. There's the fire coming in. They're gonna hit us. So it's a really cool concept for this deck too. One thing that's cool too is the Magma Basin also accelerates a fire energy to your benched fire Pokemon, which Scovillain is. And then they just get to, they're able to do even more damage with Spicy Rage. So here, we're gonna go quick search. We're gonna grab our boss's orders once again. Boss up the Scovillain. And Burning Darkness for game. Let's squeeze another game in here, shall we? I think we have time for 2 more games. First or second. Please give us second. But honestly, first is good too. First is fine, because all we have to do is set up a Charmander. And as long as we get Rare Candy Charizard on the next turn, we're in a good spot too. Moltres in the active. That way, we can Evo TM our Charmander, Charcadet, and Radiant Charizard. So it looks like we're playing against a Ceruledge EX deck with Radiant Charizard in there as well. This could be spicy. Also, that's it. Just attach pass. That was a really weak start. So we can go Charmander, Arven. We'll grab the Buddy-Buddy Poffin. We already have the Evo TM, so we'll grab a Defiance Band while we're at it. Attach that there. Buddy-Buddy Poffin, and grab a second Charmander and then a Pidgey. And we have our play lined up. We can go Evolution, evolve our Charmander and our Pidgey. That way, all we need is a Pidgeot and a Charizard, and we're up and running. All we need is a Pidgeot, honestly. All we need to do is draw a Pidgeot or a way to get a Pidgeot like an Ultra Ball, and we're off to the races. We have the Iono next turn. So Iono is going to be the play, and yeah, we have a very strong start. Those are the starts you'll want to see. You want to try and get at least 2 Charmanders down and a Pidgeot, or a Pidgey. Alright, the fire energy is hitting the board on the Charcadet. And are we going to just see a flare attack? Are we not evolving? You really need to be evolving here. There we go, we got the Armor Rouge, Armor Rogue, whatever you want to call it. Oh, all they can do is the combustion attack for 50, which is not very good. Lucia's Appeal. Ooh, very cool. So that card is like a boss's orders. They get to pick a basic Pokemon on our bench, promote it to the active, and then it's confused. So confusion is if we attack, we have to flip a coin, and if heads, we hit them. If tails, we hit ourselves for 30 damage, and the attack doesn't go through. So all we need to do here is draw. We got the switch. So we're going to switch for now into the Pidgeot, into the Moltres. We can go ahead and attach for turn and play Iono. Give us the Pidgeot. There, it's not there. It's not there. Yikes. Alright, we're going to go Buddy-Buddy Poffin into Pidgey Charmander. Thin out 2 more cards from our deck. We will retreat into our Charmander that has damage on it already, because I really don't care if they knock it out. And I want to make sure that we have a retreat available for the next turn. Now we did have free retreat with Moltres, but I want to keep it with that energy on. And by having them knock out our Charmander, we're actually laying a trap card of bonus damage for our Charizard later into the game. Also, if you are new, which you probably are, I actually have a couple of videos for new players that would really help you out. If you want to learn about Pokemon trading card game tournaments, I have a video, an explainer telling you about every type of Pokemon tournament out there. And then I also have a video talking about tournament tips as well. Alright, we got Charcadet coming in. I'm getting sleepy with how slow they're playing, not gonna lie, I'm yawning. I might have to get a second iced coffee here. Had a rough morning, waking up to some really unfortunate news. But you know, life hits you. Life hits you, and you just gotta roll with the punches. And life's gonna go on without you, whether you like it or not. So you just gotta keep on pushing through sometimes. And we have the attack coming in. Discard all fire energies from this Pokemon, and this attack does 180 to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. Oh, so our Charmeleon's gonna get knocked out here. It has basically it's the same attack as Moltres, but 180 damage instead of 120. All right, they're just thinking long and hard as to what they want to knock out, and they chose to knock out the Pidgeotto, which was the wrong play. We could literally win this game only attacking with one Charizard. All right, we got Pidgeotto. We'll bench a Charmander. We'll attach to our Charmander on the active and Iono. So this means we did have to attach to the Charmander the active just to be able to retreat. Finally, we got the Ultra Ball. It just took forever, and I'm very, very happy about it because now we get to play the game and just win. One Charizard to rule them all. There, there, and there. Retreat. Boom. And Burning Darkness. So we have to announce Burning Darkness a whole bunch, and we just win. So Gift Energy activates. They get to draw cards till they have 7 in their hand. There's the Ultra Ball. And there's honestly a really good chance that maybe they actually got the Charizard League starter deck, and then they just started to like throw in a bunch of random stuff, like the Charcadets. The Radzard's not random. Radzard makes a lot of sense, but the Lucia's Appeal's random. The Armor Rouge is really random. And I think we're going to make this the last game for the video as well. This one's taking a while, and I want to squeeze some Rhydon games in before I have to get going. I also really have to pee, and the most amount of damage they're doing right now is to my bladder because I really, really have to pee, and they're playing at a very slow pace. Alright, here we go. Radzard's coming in. So what we want to do here is knock out that Charmander as quick as we can. I don't care about the Radiant Charizard. The Radiant Charizard doesn't really mean anything until the later parts of the game. If anything, Radiant Charizard is just bad for them to have because it has a 3 retreat cost. Meaning they can't retreat very easily with it. It's probably going to get knocked out rather than retreat. But Radiant Charizard has an amazing ability called Excited Heart, which says this attack costs 1 energy less for each prize card your opponent has taken. So this is very, very good as a comeback card or as a late game closer. Just as this Charizard's power level increases the later it goes into the game, but its damage number going up. Radiant Charizard already has a really strong attack, but the energy cost goes down. So that whole comeback style of deck in Charizard, like that's the character trait for a Charizard deck. Comeback potential, comeback power, and just a simple pass. So here, we're gonna boss up the Charmander. We're gonna Ultra Ball away these 2 cards. We don't need them anymore. We'll go Pidgeot EX, attach Fire Energy. We'll Quick Search. We'll grab an Iono as well, and Burning Darkness for knockout. And there we go. Another Pidgeot EX. But we've already flooded our bench with a whole bunch of Charmanders. So all we can do now is evolve our Charmanders. No more Pidgeys are going to come out. We only have, we have 3 Pidgeys in this deck. But yeah, no other cards are going to come out. They promoted the Charcadet this time. And yeah, they scooped it up. I guess they saw nothing else was happening. Or they were like, I'm out. Alright, we got Juper with a Fire Dark deck. Okay, this one should be cool. And they had the Gengar little beanie hat too. I like that. I like that. Gengar is one of my favorite Pokemon. We got the Gengar plush right here as well. And I definitely should have went to the washroom because I still have to go. So we're going to try and win this as quick as I possibly can. Do I want to go first? Yeah, let's go first this time. Let's show you guys go in first and how good it can be if we potentially hit the nuts. Good, good. We got Charmander and Pidgey. So we're going to promote the Pidgey because Charizard is our main attacker. So if Pidgey gets knocked out, not a big deal. When you go first, you want to make sure you have a Pokemon in the active that necessarily doesn't destroy you if you have it knocked out. But it looks like they're playing a Charizard deck as well. So we got that. We got the attached to the Pidgey and a Pass. So really good opening turn 1 going against Charizard. We should be in a good position. We have the Arven in hand, which means we're just going to be able to Arven for Ultra Ball, and we have the Rare Candy. So we're going to be able to go Rare Candy, Ultra Ball for Zard, and then evolve into Charizard and just start swinging away. Alright, they got the Buddy-Buddy Poffin. Now they might play an Iono. There's a good chance they play an Iono here. And then we just have to hope that the new hand that we get is equally as strong. We are extra cooking if we have, I believe, if we draw into Pidgeot EX or an Ultra Ball, then we're going to get Candy Pidgeot, Candy Zard. And that is one of the best combinations that you can do with the Charizard deck. Have both your support Pokemon fully evolved into the Pidgeot and your main attacker fully evolved into the Charizard. You pretty much have like your king and your queen ready to slay your opponents all throughout the matchup. We got the Ultra Ball. So they're having a really good turn 1 right here. Maybe they also got the Charizard starter deck, but they're not playing the exact 60 because they of course have the Manaphy here built in for protection, which is really good against Pokemon like Radiant Greninja, Kyurem. There's a lot of things that do attack the bench. So even though, you know, Charizard has bench protection built into it, the earlier versions, the earlier evolutions or stages, they don't. So we got the Arven here for Ultra Ball, and we'll grab a Technical Machine Evolution that we can discard as well. We'll go Ultra Ball, discarding TM Evo and a Fire to grab our Charizard EX. Now that we got that, we go Rare Candy Charmander, or Charizard, Rare Candy Charizard. Rare Candy Charmander, what am I saying? We'll grab all the energies, one there, one there, one there. We can go Manual Retreats into Charizard, and then we'll also attach here and attack with Burning Darkness. Now, usually you're not really throwing on the fire energies onto your Pidgey, Pidgeotto, Pidgeot, because usually Charizard doesn't play as many energies, so you have to be very careful with your energy placements. However, in this starter deck we have 10 copies of fire energy, which means we can be more liberal in terms of our placements with the Infernal Ray. Also, Pidgeot EX is our secondary attacker in this deck. So, you know, if we're able to just have our Pidgeot also start swinging and taking some knockouts too, having it prepped and ready is really, really good to go, or really good to have. So we got the Charmeleon hitting the board here. Now the ideal scenario here is we draw into Boss's Orders and knock out the Charmeleon. If not, we're gonna try and use our Iono here to hopefully draw into Prime Catcher instead as our other way for gusting. So there's the Prime Catcher, and we have the boss. So we're going to promote the Charmander. We're going to go Prime Catcher, the Charmeleon, promote the Pidgey, retreat the Pidgey, bring in the Charizard EX, and then we're going to go Burning Darkness for knockout. And that's when you scoop it up and quit the game because you have no attacker ready to go. A Pidgey, a Manaphy, and a Dream is not going to be enough for them to win the game. We're going to try and squeeze in a couple more games. Because now that I think about it, I can probably quickly edit down some of the other games to some faster matches here. So we'll do one more after this game, but I definitely have to go pee after this. Charizard is just so good. Like, Charizard is so good. There's a reason why it's a menace. It's a menace to society. It is currently ranked the number 2 deck in the game, according to many people. And well, statistics as well. I have it ranked at number 2. There's the Charmander hitting the board. We didn't want to play the Artazon here because we don't want to give them an extra way to get like another Charmander at the board. We're just really forcing them to function on their own without the help of us to give them some blessings. We have ourselves a Boss's Orders, the Charmander. We can go, what's in our discard? We can go Ultra Ball these 2 away. We can start the Pidgeotto Climb. And they scooped it up. Next game, We're playing against Southern_Beast. They have won the coin toss. I'm curious what deck they have that wants to go second. Usually it's like those turbo decks that really want to go second, but we'll see what we're working with. We'll start off with the Moltres in the active here. Ooh, Arcanine. Okay, very cool. Pidgey, Charmander, attach, pass. So it's looking pretty good for us next turn. If we can top deck a Ultra Ball or a Rare Candy, our Arven will get us the other missing piece. And if we don't get either of them, there is the idea we can go Arven for Evo TM and a Buddy-Buddy Poffin. Or we could just play the Iono, but I'd rather just play the Arven instead, since we already have the Fire Energy onto the Moltres, and we don't really need to give them a brand new hand. And they have Charmanders as well from Pokemon Go. Spicy. So we really want to knock out this Growlithe, so come on. Ah, we couldn't get what we wanted there. That's not that big of a deal. Let's just go here now. We can go Arven, Evo TM, and we can also grab the Buddy-Buddy Poffin. Poffin out another Pidgey, another Mander, and go Technical Machine Evolution. And here, we'll go this and that. So Pidgeotto and Charmeleon. Now typically when you use Evolution TM in your deck, you really want to do a thorough prize check. Now prize checking is when you really go through the 60 cards in your deck to figure out, you know, what are the 6 prizes that are missing? What are the 6 cards that are missing in your deck that you have to play without? Now, because I know we have 3 Charmeleons and 2 Pidgeotto, I'm not too concerned with prize checking and making sure we have Pidgeotto and Charmeleon in our deck. But because we have so many copies of them, I'm not going to bother doing the prize checking because we're just chilling at that point. So here we got Pidgeotto, free retreat Pokemon. You just free retreat. Is always good. You just have to not worry about, you know, what you're promoting because you're just gonna retreat with it anyways. And we get hit with the Iono. We have a lot of ways to get Charizard out, and we drew none of them, so that's rough. So we're gonna go ahead and retreat into our what's this do? 30 damage plus 10 for each damage counter on the Pokemon. So we'll promote the other Charmander. Drop that bad boy in and pass. So we literally just needed to draw a Pidgeot, a Charizard, or an Ultra Ball, and we would have been off to the races. But unfortunately, you can't always get what you want. So here we go again. Ooh, there's the Charizard coming in. Infernal Rain time. And now we have ourselves a game. We definitely have a much stronger game. So we'll make this one the last one. All right, we got the Arven coming in, Ultra Ball, and okay. I really like the idea of Power Glass in the deck because it really does synergize very well with Arcanine. I'm actually going to take a photo of this idea now because I love this concept of Arcanine with Power Glass, because the first attack is really good. It's like a counter style of an attack where it does 10 more damage for each damage counter on the Pokemon with a 30 base. So you're most likely going to have your Arcanine live a turn from getting hit, so you can use that Raging Claws attack to return and damage them. But if not, then you're just going to have that extra damage to go for the 250 instead. Oh my gosh, they're throwing way too many fire energies onto the Arcanine. And now they can one-shot the Charmander. Alrighty, let's see how we can do this next turn. We got the Pidgeotto to start things off because we got the free retreat. Please give us an out to Charizard. If not, we're going to have to go with the research. There it is. There is our Charizard. We missed you, buddy. We needed you big time. Yes to Infernal Rain, of course. There's never a time you say no. And then we'll attach it to this Pidgeotto as well. Pidgeotto could be a clutch attacker here. We're going to go ahead and research. Rare candies mean nothing to us anymore at this point of the game because we're already so well established. Now we can go Ultra Ball, the Moltres, and the Charmander out. Grab the Pidgeot EX. We can go manual retreat into Charizard, evolve to Pidgeotto, evolve into Pidgeot EX, evolve into Charizard EX. Now we have a game on our hands. We'll say yes to the Infernal Rain, grabbing 3 fires. We'll go fire, fire, fire. Not that I had a choice. We can go attached. We can go quick search first. Let's quick search here. See what we're working with. Ooh, Defiance Band 2. I have to be careful because they have the other attack. So they can either swing for 250 or they can swing for, well, we're only hitting, okay, so we're not hitting for too much. So we're gonna go ahead and grab the Defiance Band here. And then next turn, I'll probably grab like a Switch. One annoying thing is all their Pokemon are Terra typing at the moment. Moltres only attacks the bench, and all their Pokemon have bench protection built in, which is definitely not what you want to see. Mew EX, okay, there we go. Mew EX is what I wanted to see. Mew EX will be our last knockout of the game, or the one we go for as our second knockout. So restart, really good ability. Mew is like a really good card you can squeeze into a lot of decks just because it has the free retreat and the ability is very strong as well. Draw cards till you have 3 in your hand. So it's like a draw engine Pokemon that has a free retreat. And the attack is really good too. Choose one of your opponent's packed Pokemon and use its attacks. Oh my gosh, they hit us with a super scoop up or the scoop up Cyclone. Put one of your Pokemon and all attached cards into your hand. Ooh. Now we got a game. So here, it's looking like we're gonna have to go toss that Mew EX to get our first 2 prizes here. We might have to do that. Yeah, let's do that, players. We gotta get some prizes and going here. Promote the Mew. Retreat. Bring in Zard. And we're not gonna bother attaching at the moment. We can just hold the energy and take our first 2 prizes that way. Alright, the Zard is coming back with a vengeance. So for this Charizard, we are going to hit it once, and then we're going to have to switch into the Pidgeot. So we got Ultra Ball, discarding these 2. You might have to, we can't set up another Charizard till we get Super Rod. So we'll evolve to this Pidgeot now. We will quick search Super Rod. We'll need a fresh Zard at some point. So we'll go Super Rod, Charmander, Charmeleon, Fire? No. We have rare candies in the deck still. We get 4 in the deck, right? How many have we used? We used 2. I need to make sure the fire energies are accessible. So we're gonna grab more fire here. Attached to this Pidgeot now. Research. Poffin's big. And nice, we can rare candy Charizard the next turn. We go 240 and then 120, or we can retreat now and go 120 and then force them to have Gust. I think that's the play. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna have to force them to have a gusting option here. So this will put them at 210. So they have the choice to retreat and run away into the Arcanine or the other Zard. But their Scoop Up Cyclone definitely stole a turn of damage away from us, which was really, really tough to see. And then if they do go up on prizes, we can... Oh, no, we can't just return KO them with the Zard with the Defiance Band. Oh, they're going to KO it now anyways. So this next turn, we're going to be swinging with our Pidgeot. Oh, no, we have to get... Yeah, we're going to go Candy Zard here. So we'll just promote that for fun. And our Candy Zard will be the knockout of choice. And we can Iono them to 2, which is really good as well. Alright, Infernal Rain, 2 fires. Those are the last 2 fires in the deck. So it's getting scary here. Definitely getting scary. We're Ionoing them down to 2. And all they need is a boss for game here. We're going to go retreat into Zard. Burning Darkness 300. Yeah, all they need is a boss's orders for game now, because they can attack with their other Charizard. They're going to need boss's orders here for a game for this Pidgeot EX KO. If not, we're going to be able to win on the next turn. And yeah, they didn't get the boss's orders. We have the boss's orders, so we're going to boss up the Arcanine EX and swing into it for knockout. And there you go. That late game Iono was super, super clutch. Click on screen to watch some more content, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.